Hello and good evening. My name is Jeremy or Germs PC, and welcome to the Ohio State Esports official stream. I am here and joined by the glorious Dawson or Aorca on Twitter. How are you today, Dawson?
I'm doing great. Better than last couple of days because of the snow, the weather. But I'm feeling fine today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, I don't have a car, and with
Fair.
Corona, I don't have to particularly go out. So, obviously, I'm able to just stay indoors and watch some great Rocket League and some great Rocket League we have today. Today is week 6 of the PlayVS. Looks like we got a doubleheader for you tonight. The first game is going to be against Florida Southern University, and then for the next one, looks like we are going to be able to see some DePaul. So obviously some great teams coming out, and I'm definitely excited to see what both of them have in store.
Yeah, so us not really getting much info on either of these teams, but coming from last week, and even the week before, we had really close matches. So I'm expecting to see more close matches today. OSU's team, I've said it, especially casting with other people as well. You probably heard it from me. It's our passing plays. It's our offense. So that's what I'm looking at for today to try to break through Florida Southern and DePaul's defense. But we aren't sure how strong they are or how weak they are. So just hoping for some really close matches today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just the offensive plays and just the amount of pressure Ohio State is able to put on the opposing teams with just some of their offensive plays is astounding. They can definitely put the pressure on the other team to be able to, defend well. And it's going to be interesting coming into this, seeing, what the team composition is going to be like for Ohio State. Obviously, we have a lot of different players to look out for. So I'm definitely excited to see for this first game just who's on the roster and who's going to be playing.
Yeah, and I mean, we're coming to the end of PlayVS, right? We only have a couple more weeks out. So, I mean, giving more players a spotlight. We've seen our B team come out a lot against other teams, B teams as well. So these players just need to loosen up. Just loosen up a bit, finish out as strong as you can. Take, these holes that are in your game, look at it with your team. I mean, it's a weekly thing, so you know that you're going to be competing every week. So take maybe a bullet list of everything you need, right? Offense, really good, but then rotations, maybe not so much. So these players, as they loosen up more and more and get used to this competitive thing that is kind of new to them, right? I mean, this team at least. The Beans, maybe not so much. They have a little bit more experience. So, yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I want to see these players really, really grow through these matches.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, a lot of these players are, freshmen, sophomore. They're definitely at the beginning of their collegiate careers, and with this premier team, once we're able to kind of open up and get more of that LAN environment, perhaps we can see just a little more teamwork come, from these games. Obviously, it's a different environment to be able to just have your teammates together, in kind of that LAN environment where you can, kind of rely on each other as you're sitting next to each other, type of thing. So, obviously it's going to be interesting in that regard. And, I think just overall the premier team and, obviously the Beans on the BGC side of things have just been doing a great job. And I think all they can really do is go up from here.
True. And with that LAN experience too, I mean, just like the students go out to the shoe to support our football team, I'd love to see some people, like if you're in chat right now, be able to show some support for our A and B team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really
and don't forget to follow the official Ohio State Twitter page. Obviously you can see all of the live updates as well as some opportunities to even join the teams for tryouts and such, as well as have some more administration things, or if you want to get something casting. So looks like we're gonna go in Ohio State on the blue, Florida and Southern on the right. We see we see Slaney actually is the orange, Stu, and we're gonna have confirmation on who that third player is on the side.
I believe we have it backwards on the top there. It's OSU on orange and Ohio State, or yeah, OSU on. Okay, we're fixing it up. There we go.
It looks like we're gonna get it right.
Quick,
fixed right there.
Big first goal from Perk Dog here. incredible start. Yeah, and Twitter, it's at Ohio ST Esports. So make sure to follow that. Already up 1-0 for Ohio State here on the orange side, Florida Southern on the blue side.
Yeah, it looks like that third player that I couldn't see at the beginning, Perk Dog, just really able to put that pressure up against Florida Southern and, just able to take, that early fight and get the first goal for Ohio State. And you see, there he goes with another demo onto Cabot.
Yeah, and first match, players always tend to be a little tense. So a lot of times what I like to do, first match against a new team, I want to look at their cards, okay? So I want to see what designs they're bringing out to their showcase against OSU. I see a lot of white, specifically Cabot here in the black and white. I think that's a NRG decal. Really interesting.
Yeah, and obviously, I think with this first game for the players on this, as Slaney gets another goal, assisted by Perk Dog, just an overall nice tap into it. It's going to be the other teams all about. Are they going to just be really weak on rotations but strong on their defense, or are they going to be a mostly offensive team? But Ohio State seems to have read them like a book, and currently with only a minute up, it's up 2-0 for Ohio.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, first game, players still getting used to the other teams, and especially coming from, setting up the lobby and maybe fidgeting a little bit with your hands and being a little cold. So it takes players to get a little used to it. So we typically do see, like, really strong and sudden opening goals a lot of the time. I like that back pass from Cabot there to his team, but Stu's able to intercept that in the air. So it seems like OSU's just jumping right into it. Really good air control, I'm seeing from them. Better than I've probably seen before.
Yeah, but I mean, look at this. Perk Dog, just an empty net. Some rotations just not happening for Florida Southern. And, just a third goal already in those first 2 minutes for Ohio State. I mean, it just looked like, unfortunately, they were a little out of position there. It looked like Disorder and Cabot were trying to defend, but not able to make it to the empty goal in time. And Perk Dog with just his second goal already in this first game.
I actually believe that's a hat trick for Perk Dog. I think that's 3.
I believe Slaney got one of the kills.
Was it?
Slaney got one of the goals. It was assisted though by Perk Dog. So
wow, really strong opening here then for OSU. Only 2 minutes in. It's still anyone's game. I mean, Rocket League is such a momentum-based game. OSU has all the momentum, but if it ever tips to Florida Southern, they can really try to bring it back here.
Yeah. Perk Dog, though, looks like he wanted to get that hat trick. Just, nice floater. Almost able to do it, but I think the Sorter and the rest of Florida Southern was there to defend against the goal.
Ooh. Big fakes in the air there from Slaney and Pranzer. A lot of Florida Southern players kind of... It's very strange. They're going past the rotation kind of into OSU's half and taking boost and leaving a lot, but it seems that OSU's just kind of ignoring that and getting boost elsewhere, which that allowed, honestly, Perk Dog to get this hat trick here, third goal. Cabot specifically, he's going past the ball, past the players, and trying to maybe look for a demo and then not finding it and just grabbing boost instead. Very strange rotations here from Florida Southern, so hopefully they can clean that up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just worried on the side of Florida Southern. I don't want to see too many double commits in terms of the ball. It looked like, with those commits, they weren't winning their 1v1s, and overall it just kind of looked a little sloppy from those rotations for Florida Southern.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at how they play, they're definitely not a weak team. They're not a team that can't put up a fight, so hopefully OSU keeps on the pressure and is able to take this. But Pranzer there, off the top, OSU backward player wasn't able to get that out, and so Florida Southern was able to sink that in right there, making it 1-4.
Yeah, it was a nice little tap on the ball, and 2 minutes left in the game. Obviously, this is anybody's game. Ohio State up, though, 4-1 in this first game. You could be seeing a bit of a comeback on the side of Florida Southern as we move into this, next progression. It looks like, though, Ohio State wants to commit to this attack. And Stu with a demo, too. They're going to try to get this fast, but Cabot with a return demo. But Stu tapping it into an empty goal. It looked like 2 of the members of Florida Southern were just out of position and behind Stu, and Stu was just able to get it in with a nice tap.
I was about to get a little bit upset at Stu there for being on the... Or no, Slaney on the wall there had a very strange touch. And I think Florida Southern just kind of was stunned, didn't really know what to do. So it worked in OSU's favor there. It was a really strange play, but luckily we were able to get it in.
Yeah, and you see Cabot going up there. It almost looked like they wanted to double commit for that ball, which
Yeah.
could have been deadly. And Disorders and Cabot are trying to scramble for this defense. As all three members of Ohio State look like they want to take the ball, but
Huge
Slaney
chance.
actually shooting it back into his own side. Franz are almost able to defend, but Disorder as well. Both of them able to get it with Cabot. That just seemed like kind of a mistake from Ohio State's side.
Yeah, it was a very, very powerful passing play there from Florida Southern. Honestly, I expected Prancer to be able to sink that first shot that he got the pass from the left, but sent it wide, and they were able to keep control of that. Still shoot it really, really accurately, actually. Surprising. So, I mean, this is the momentum I was talking about, right? They're getting a little bit of momentum back, making some genuinely good plays, but Perk Dog freestyling a little bit there. Breakdancing almost. That was really crazy movement there. That was really cool to watch, actually.
Yeah,
Wow.
Pranzer looked like he was trying to go up for the ball to defend, but unfortunately missed it. And it looks like Ohio State at 6-2 with only a minute left. It's going to be have to be some kind of miracle. Ohio State really, if they wanted to, they could just send some nice deep floaters back on these defenses and shave the clock down. But Bergdorf looks like he wants to take it, and it looks like Slaney's there as well.
Wow.
2 close shots off the crossbeam, but unable to get it. They're going to have to try to go back and rotate and defend. Perk's still keeping up this momentum, and only 35 seconds left. It's going to be hard for Florida Southern to get 4 points in that time.
Yeah, nearly impossible, especially with OSU being so commanding on the ball. Like, Slaney with that control dribble and flicking off the backboard, and there was no Florida Southern play. Wow, Slaney from the top ropes sinks it in. Absolute top shelf banger. That was very, very clean.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Stu setting up with that nice, pass, and just overall great performance right now from Ohio State. Like you said, that the passing game right now looks excellent on the side of Ohio State, and Florida Southern's gonna have to come back from this game and think about exactly what happened, what didn't work, what did work, and try to come back from this, because Ohio State is just looking great right now.
Yeah, and I'm sure these Florida Southern players they understand why they're conceding, right? Their rotations are just not connecting, and they're not able to take advantage of Ohio State's mistakes. I mean, albeit Ohio State really was not making a lot of mistakes there, but Florida Southern was leaving their net open a lot and not really getting to the ball when they needed to be. So the Florida Southern players really need to look at that and clean up the rotation a bit. And OSU just needs to keep pounding down that defense there. I think that's the win condition for our team here.
Yeah, I agree. And I think overall, Ohio State really was just winning their 1v1s. I felt like Florida Southern was trying to go for those 1v1s, but Ohio State came ahead for mostly all of the ones that I saw. And there were some just devastating double commits on that ball that just left, the net for Florida Southern wide open. So overall, I want to see, cleaner rotations from Florida Southern. And, obviously, I think they're a competitive team and can definitely come back from this. I didn't see anything that was just so wrong that I could never see them coming back. They had some great plays. I mean, we saw just overall, great momentum during that mid part, but overall, gotta get that defense tightened up.
Yeah, momentum is definitely a huge thing. Florida Southern specifically, I know we keep talking about them, but I said the rotation. We're going to be going to the game here soon, but rotation. So I said rotation. Not that the rotation was horrible, it's just causing a lot of open nets. However, their positioning specifically was not honestly that bad. I think OSU has the upper hand, but Florida Southern players are able to position themselves where they need to be for the ball. They're just not reading their teammates.
No, that's very true. Yeah, I think, they're overall, some really good individual players on the side of Florida Southern, but there's really no eye in team, and they have to be able to work just a little bit better overall together to be able to get those drives to the Ohio State goal line.
Yeah, and not that Ohio State is the superior team necessarily on positioning either, because I point out similar errors specifically against maybe stronger teams that we faced in the past as well, where the reason that Florida Southern lost that first game is also the reason that Ohio State falls a little
Ooh.
bit. And own goal here from OSU, not what you want to see in game 2 after a win.
Yeah, you saw that they
Wow.
lost the 50-50
Just a little
disorder.
misread there from Perk Dog, it seemed. Or maybe ran out of boost at the end, most likely.
Yeah, and I mean, Disorder able to get that first goal for Florida Southern. You know, we may be seeing, you know, a bit of a momentum shift now as Ohio State looks like they want to try to keep that pressure up and maybe you'll go on a bit of an offensive. And Slaney and,
Huge
you know,
chance.
Perk Dog both trying to set themselves up, but they're going to have to try to reposition themselves, get back into the defensive position as Disorder and Cabot are taking
Incredible
it close to the ball.
shot.
And Cabot, you know, able to score off that, you know, that's definitely a devastating blow to the Ohio State's momentum.
Yeah, so, and like I was saying, Ohio State also has been known to make those rotation errors, and that's what that was there, right? The two players that should have been back were stuck in the corner, probably waiting for boost to spawn. We didn't really get an eye on that, so I'm not quite sure what was going on between those two players, but no one was actually in net ready with momentum on their card to save that ball.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to scramble for positioning, but, you know, overall it just kind of fell a little short, and, you know, Florida Southern able to capitalize it in 2 quick goals on the side of Florida Southern. Ohio State is going to have to try to, you know, make some offensive plays in order to just come back from this. You know, obviously there's a lot of, you know, time left in this game, but, you know, with an empty net there, you know, Cabot almost scoring again. Positioning from Ohio State just seemed a little lackluster, and rotations weren't coming in as Disorder tries to go for that close net shot, but unable to do so. And Ohio State looks like they want to try to take this ball back, but Slaney.
There you go, but now here Disorder's able to just sink it in there. Yeah, OSU players not getting the clears that we need. We need to see bigger clears there from Slaney. It was a quick shot, so it was kind of tough for that. But specifically, Perk Dog on the corner there just hit it right to a Florida Southern player. And usually I commend OSU on their reads and being able to have a feel for the field, I guess, and knowing where their opponents are. But lacking a little bit here. I want to see more good reads coming from OSU.
Yeah, see, like that, like Perk Dog just able to really, you know, take that clear. Was really important, and you see that obviously Disorder has to come back for quick rotations, and Stu trying to score. Slaney and Stu want to try to take this, and it looks like, unfortunately, side of Florida Southern is defending pretty well, but Cabot is really trying to, you know, play goalkeeper there, and they're going to be able to clear this back into midfield.
Stu's looking to take the corner boost. Yeah, Florida Southern's going to be running out of boost here soon. I wish Perk Dog would have taken that other corner as well, because he saw Stu take the left corner. So starving Florida Southern here when you have possession their half is so important for being able to guarantee that goal. So OSU maybe giving up a little bit of possession here instead of going for that boost that they should have went for.
Yeah, I mean, you know, looking at the boost management overall, it definitely seems like Florida Southern were about to just kind of get swept over if they had taken those boosts away from them. But it looks like Slaney and Stu are trying to take this back. You know, minute 41 on the clock, they have to start getting some momentum. But with that long clear back in the OSU side, it's going to be hard. And Disorder getting a demo onto Slaney, you know, time's just kind of running out. Florida Southern can start playing this so defensively that, you know, they're able to just kind of send those floaters back into midfield and shave a lot of time off the clock for Ohio State to come back.
Yeah, and I think with last game, the reason it was such a commanding win is OSU's team here specifically, I know, was Stu and Perk Dog. They rely so much on momentum, and momentum's already super important with Rocket League in general. Like I said, I mean, it's Florida Southern just be able to consistently put these on net, and with the momentum in their favor, OSU's giving these up. But with OSU's players, right now they're not connecting because they had a weak showing at the start of the game, and it's just kind of falling over. And that is the most important part when you're looking at high-level Rocket League right here, is connecting your passing plays.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like, you know, there's some kind of communication error or just overall, you know, just teamwork error where they're not reading each other well. And, you know, it shows Florida Southern currently up 4-0. There was definitely some close shots on the net.
Huge
but Disorder with an empty net, no rotations coming in from Ohio State. Perk Dog was trying to get back in time, but, you know, it just feels like, you know, there was kind of a miscommunication in general for this game.
Yeah, Stu there being turned around and not knowing whether he wanted to challenge it or not, and then just giving Disorder all the room in the world to just air dribble that straight into the net. Uh, Hesitation. That's what I'm seeing from OSU. That I didn't see last game. It just kind of showed up out of nowhere because they got down a goal or two, and now they're hesitating a lot because they don't want to give up more. They want to maybe fight their way back in with a well-earned goal, but they're not playing aggressive like they're known for, and they're maybe not playing to the best of their potential in this game right here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the team plays are some of the stuff that, we praise OSU on in terms of just how well they're able to work with each other and read each other. And just over here, it seemed like, they were reading a book in a completely different language. They just didn't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say either of these teams are necessarily consistent. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of consistent teams throughout PlayVS, but not even in a bad way. I mean, you'll see players really wanting to be the hero of the game, and specifically there, Disorder was the hero of the game for Florida Southern.
Yeah, I think, obviously Perk Dog in game one, able to just get that very quick hat trick, it was just definitely one of the trendsetters in terms of that game one, and it obviously led Ohio State to a pretty convincing victory in game one. And, it just felt like Florida Southern, they had the teamwork that, I felt like they were missing, and they were really able to come back into that game too. And Ohio State now is kind of on the back foot. They lost that momentum. Obviously they weren't even able to get a goal, some close shots, but I think they're just going to have to, write that off as, okay, we were, definitely just not feeling that game, and they're now going to have to respond.
Yeah, and knowing OSU's team, my vision, kind of what I'm seeing right now, is I think that OSU now losing that game 4-0 and it being tied up 1-1 in the series, they realize that Florida Southern is not to be messed around with. That 2-7 was just iffy start. And so now that OSU players know that these players are competent and capable of matching their level, they're going to try to bring it up again, turn it to 11, and finish out this series as strong as possible. Because we didn't see that in that game. They were laid back, chilling out, kind of feeling out Florida Southern, seeing what they can do. So I'm expecting a big game here from Ohio State. They're going to show up and do the best they can. If they take this, then I think that the momentum will carry all the way in their favor. I think Ohio State can end this 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, we see an early demo from Perk Dog and a lot of pressure being put on Florida Southern from Ohio State. It definitely could see potential for, a nice goal here. Stu with an air dribble. Beautiful stuff. And, Slaney trying to, respond, but nice defense on the side of Florida Southern in that first, play from Ohio.
Yeah, and like I was talking about the heroes, I think Stu's trying to be that for OSU here, going for these big solo plays. And a lot of times it might not work out, but as long as OSU's keeping their rotation solid, then it doesn't matter. Big save there from Stu as well.
Yeah, you saw that double commit, and it seemed to have worked out as Panzer and Cabot are both trying to now set up Disorder. He's going to be a little far, and Slaney's going to be able to defend. They should try to clear this far away, but they want to keep this up. And another demo on the side of Florida. There's currently Stu is trying to defend,
Own goal from Stu there. That was very sad. I mean, Florida Southern was running out of boost there. They didn't have a lot of options, and Stu just kind of panicked, jumped, and just prayed. And it sadly did not work out.
Yeah, I mean, first goal on the side of Florida Southern, but, you saw that first play from Ohio State, and you saw potential. I definitely saw a lot more teamwork, a lot more team play on the side of Ohio State, but, Disorder just really putting that pressure onto Ohio State, and, they were just, trying so hard to clear it, but Florida Southern just wouldn't let them.
Yeah, and I definitely don't see OSU giving up here. Big chance there from, I believe it was Pranzer. But I definitely don't see OSU giving up here. Like I said, that huge goal there from OSU, from Stu specifically. 88 miles an hour. Go back in time with that shot.
Absolutely. I mean, you just saw that right there. They were trying to go back into rotation, and Stu just really nice shooting overall from Ohio State, and kind of the momentum that we wanted to see. You saw the big goose egg, in that second game, and it looks like they have something to say about it. A bit more aggression, I think, from Ohio State right now.
And that's what we want to see, right? That's a shot that OSU is able to do consistently. They really are. Big open net there, but it's saved from Pranzer. Stu with the chance again is saved off the corner. at the top belt.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
Slaney winning that
OSU,
1v1.
huge shot potentials from every single
And an
player.
empty net. Oh,
Yeah, just hitting it to the corner, trying to regain a little bit of composure. Stu playing fast like usual. They just want to keep this ball in Florida Southern's half.
yeah,
Slay
and I
with a
mean, I
chance
think it's
here.
working well right now. I think they're definitely having to scramble on defense, and Stu and Slaney both putting up some very nice shots and really keeping Florida Southern on their toes, and not really able to do anything on their side. But Disorder with that long clear, Stu's gonna go up for the ball, no double commit, and Slaney as well, able to shoot it
Oh,
back down onto the side of Florida Southern. Close shot, but Disorder able to defend from that rotation. And it's definitely a close game right now, and it feels like both teams have something to say about what happened.
yeah, I can definitely tell that these players are shaking off the cobwebs. They're playing so much faster now. And I think this is where OSU thrives. I mean, Florida Southern's stepping up to it, but I think OSU, known as one of the most aggressive teams in this tournament, I believe, is going to bring out some of the fastest goals that we probably will see this series.
Yeah, and I mean, you just saw it. You saw just all of the Ohio State side, just really able to keep the ball on Florida Southern side, and give them no space in terms of breaks, going until they run out of boost basically, and then coming back over for rotations for the defense from Florida Southern. And I think that's what you have to see from Florida Southern's side. As Slaney gets a demo onto Disorder, Florida Southern, they have to put on that kind of pressure that you saw Ohio State give, or else there's no reason for Ohio State to not win this one.
Yep. Yeah, Florida Southern having control of the ball for a lot of this 1-1 scoreline, but OSU seems to just be switching that possession right now. So hopefully we can keep that. Perk Dog with a big chance here. Booms it to Slaney with a chance. Really close there on the shot.
Yeah.
Just couldn't quite get the hit with the part of the car that he really wanted. Hit it with the wheels, it seemed like. So it wasn't as powerful as he wanted it to be.
Yeah, and you
Huge
see here,
chance.
oh, look at that empty net, and Panzer able to get a goal. I mean, with only 50 seconds left, that kind of turns the tide on currently who has that kind of aggression right now. And at a 2-1 scoreline, Ohio State has to respond to stay into this game.
Yeah, Stu there on the backboard. Couldn't read that in time. Florida Southern just hit it super hard against the backboard and passed it up for teammate to shoot, which, I mean, that's a very powerful play. It's just hit it as hard as you can off the backboard. But hopefully OSU is able to respond to a lot of those backboard passes coming up, because it seems like Florida Southern likes to do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So last 30 seconds here, for sure, OSU needs to make a play.
Yeah, and I mean, they're definitely keeping it competitive here. They were doing, what I wanted to see. They put up that aggression. They, were able to do more team play. The passing looked like it was getting solid, but, on the side of Florida Southern, Disorder and Panzer, really able to just kind of apply that pressure onto Ohio State. And with only 9 seconds left, Ohio State has to do something here as a floater onto Ohio State's side. Only 3 seconds after this, they're going to have to keep it up for the rest of this side, but it looks like it's going to game 3.
Yep, Florida Southern able to just, kill that ball at the end. But in general, knowing that you're up 1 with only a minute left, they were just trying to be annoying, right? If OSU was trying to make a one-on-one play or dribble it, Florida Southern was making sure to challenge as quick as possible, which is the smartest thing to do. So well played to them, taking that 2-1, really close, making it 2-1 overall in the set for Florida Southern here.
And let me just say, the rotations from both sides just looked significantly better from the first 2 games there. You definitely saw a lot more defense on both sides, and overall it just didn't feel like it was a very one-sided game. Obviously, you saw some strong points from both sides. You saw that early, just seconds into the game, Ohio State really trying to apply that pressure onto Florida. They were able to have some nice shots, and Slaney and Stu just taking the fight to Florida. Unfortunately, unable to get anything out of it, but Florida Southern coming right back and taking that with a close 2-1.
Yeah, and like you were saying, rotations, that game was super competitive, really fun to watch too. Seeing the players adapt to each other and listening to their team more, right? Setting up those 1-2-3 plays, those passing stuff like off the backboard from Florida Southern, and OSU just straight down the middle with some incredibly precise shots. So I want to see more of this. I want to see OSU tighten up the defense a little bit more, because that was the reason for a lot of the openings that Florida Southern had last game, was just opening up their rotation a little bit too much and leaving some space for Florida Southern, which is happening again here. Big demo. Slaney maybe not able to make it back in time, and Desorda able to just sink it on an open net.
Yeah, the rotations, like you said, just weren't there. You saw that demo kind of messed up the rotations for Ohio State, and just an empty net for Desorda to score into. An early lead for Florida Southern, but I think, if Ohio State can just, batten down their defense a little bit, they can definitely take this back around. And, as this is a
Another
best
big shot
of 5, Cabot getting another one, Ohio State's in the hot seat. They have to respond to this.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these rotation errors are coming from OSU being so aggressive, right? These overcommits. That specifically wasn't. It was just a miscommunication. Players going for boost at the beginning of the round. Florida Southern getting a really quick shot. But the first goal specifically, all 3 players being in the other half. And, oh, wow, incredible snipe there from Stu.
That's beautiful. That is just absolutely threading the needle. Perk Dog and Stu just, able to get some very nice shots onto that goal and, overwhelm. I think, was that all 3 members of Florida Southern were committing to that ball?
Yeah.
That's great.
The aggression. So it can be a double-edged sword, because that specifically, OSU players were all in for that. They wanted that goal and they worked for it. But for maybe the last couple ones, if it doesn't work out, then they're leaving their defense wide open.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And it definitely felt like, there was that kind of communication gap where it felt like 2 of the members of Ohio State really wanted to go for it. And, one member was just kind of staying back and, wanted to go for more defense. And it's going to be interesting coming into this as we see another demo on the side of Ohio State. How Ohio is able to, come back into this game. Obviously, they're still down a goal. And, look at this rotation coming in now. Empty net and almost a nice shot from Slaney, but it looks like it's going to go back on the side of Ohio State. And honestly, some nice rotations, though, looking at it. You saw Stu and Slaney there able to defend, against that hard clear. And Cabot, though, trying to get it into an empty net. And it looks like that was a self-score. And, overall, just able to get it. Unfortunately, 3-1 for Florida Southern.
Yeah, that's the 3rd own goal we've seen. Slaney just not able to read that off the corner, which is fair. There wasn't much you could do there. So it's kind of unlucky, that bounce. But yeah, we're seeing some good play from both teams. Excuse me. I just wish that OSU would connect their passes a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right? So we're seeing the passes coming out, and we're seeing them being in position for it, but then they're not able to hit the shot.
Wait, hang on a second here. You saw that? He actually Slaney stole the boost of the Florida Southern defender and was able to get it to Stu with a nice, assist there. Stu able to just get it in and, keep this back into the game of Ohio State.
Yeah, so those quick plays. Those quick passes. OSU's offensive positioning is definitely a lot better than their defensive positioning. And we see that oftentimes on offense, OSU players are there and they're passing it right to their players. They're getting it where it needs to be. It's just finishing that out and maybe shooting a shot that isn't savable for defense is what needs to be worked on a little bit. Just specifically the shooting. Because a lot of times you just see them shooting it at the crossbar or right at a defensive player or overcommitting for a shot that they know they can't sink.
Ooh. Close shot, though, on the side of Perk Dog, almost tying the game up, and Stu looks like he's hungry for more. And nice dribble, but it looks like they're able to defend. They're going to want to try to hard clear this as Slaney is keeping it up.
Wow. Incredible save there from Desorda. Yeah, OSU putting on a lot of pressure there. Luckily, Florida Southern wasn't able to get it out of their half, so OSU was able to just keep that on. So hopefully we can see something from it here with a big shot from Stu. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, it looks like Panzer, was passed it to Stu, and Panzer lost the 50-50 and just an empty net. And Ohio State putting it right back and just looking at this personally, I don't know about you, it feels like Ohio State has had kind of, that kind of momentum that we were talking about. It feels like all of the big plays that we've seen so far have just been Ohio State, with just some great shots. And, Florida Southern's now kind of on the hot seat in terms of momentum.
Yeah, OSU definitely bringing it back. And when OSU's
Ooh.
fourth own goal there for OSU, not a statistic we want to tweet about. So maybe keep those at a minimum. That momentum, right, that we had, just kind of taken away a little bit. Perk Dog putting in his own net, 18 miles an hour. So just as we were saying, momentum was huge. And I was going to talk about when OSU has the momentum in their favor, the other team could feel like it's they're just trying to punch a brick wall, and they can't get through. But now it's immediately flipped back to Florida Southern getting 2 quick goals here. Very sad to see from the OSU team.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you're exactly right in terms of just you see those rotations come in, and it definitely doesn't feel like all of Ohio State's there on the defense.
Yeah, and being such a momentum-based game, such a momentum-based team as well, OSU here, you just need something huge to get it back. And if we see that in the last minute and a half, I'm sure that OSU can bring it back. Like, we've seen it before. We've seen worse deficits come back in time. So
yeah, and now Ohio State though has to be the one. They're gonna go for a drive disorder as they're trying to get the ball away, but Stu dribbling it up. It looks like he wants to try to take a shot, and Cabot there to defend, and disorder with that hard clear. It's an empty net, and Perk Dog's gonna have to try to defend it with Slaney. There was a double commit that could have been bad, and disorder getting a close shot, and it looks like they were able to save it. But with 51 seconds left, it's definitely in Florida Southern's best interest to just kind of hard clear this. But Cabot looks like he wants to take some more, but that may cost them as there's currently an empty net for the side of Ohio State. A disorder though trying to go in. That was a nice commit, but Stu and Perk Dog able to take it with only 38 seconds left.
Yeah, Perk Dog here knows, right, that Florida Southern is up 2 games. If they lose this game, then it's over. They're done. But Perk Dog saying, I don't want that to happen here. I want to bring the momentum back, and now they're only 1 goal down. And 1 minute and a half for 2 goals seemed like a lot. But now with that goal scored, I mean, it doesn't seem like so much anymore. It seems surmountable. So OSU just need to control this as much as they can. Play it smart, right? Don't just hot-head this.
Yeah, but you saw a good 1v1, but disorder able to just take that 1v1 and put it on the side of Florida Southern. Only 21 seconds left. It's not impossible. I mean, we could take this to overtime if Perk Dog, Stu, and Slaney all decide as one. We are staying in this. We are we want this because overall, Perk Dog made the call, and the rest of the team's gonna have to try to follow suit. Obviously Stu and Slaney, no slouches, and overall great team plays from this game, and it definitely felt close. But Cabot able to get another one onto the side of Ohio State with 8 seconds left. It's looking like Florida Southern's gonna win this 3-1.
Yeah, and all I can make at this point are just disgusted noisy because OSU seems to just crack under the pressure there at the end. It was looking great, and they were able to have that little light. But defense, it was all about the defense at the end there, and they just cracked a little bit under the pressure. And sadly, Florida Southern is going to take this set 3-1.
Yeah, GG, well played. And obviously Ohio State with that strong showing in that first game, it definitely felt like the kind of momentum was on Ohio State. But there's really just, one word that I have, and that's just commitment and team play. They had commitment issues in terms of just they really wanted to keep that, pressure up. They wanted to keep their offensive, together, and it really cost them. So many empty nets, and just so many self goals. It was just very unfortunate. And, it looks like we're going to have to see, Ohio State try to come back into this as, they fall to Florida Southern. Yeah,
it's sad to see all those own goals. Specifically, I mean, 4 in 4 games. That's an average of 1 a game. That's not something that you want to see a lot from a team of this caliber.
Yeah, and I think definitely we saw in that last game, Game 5 there, game 4 there. They definitely had what it took You saw just some great shots, some great offensive plays, and even some great defense on the side of Ohio State. They looked very competitive into that, and you felt the cobwebs getting shaken off. And overall, it definitely looked more promising. But unfortunately, just the defense seemed just a little, just a little too slow, I'd say.
Yep. So OSU's hoping to bring it back. We have another match later, 9:15, I believe. So looking to bounce right back. Believe we're going to break soon here.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys at 9:15 then. All right, guys. Hey, what's up? Coming back from the break here, 9:15 game. It's me, Dawson, co-casting with Jeremy. Coming off of a tough loss, a really, really, really tough loss to say the least. Honestly, 3-1 against Florida Southern, and now we're gonna be watching. It's our B team versus DePaul. So totally different team. I can't roast our A team anymore. Coming back, trying to bring a little glory back. We're hoping to see some great Rocket League from our B team as well. So I don't know. What are you feeling for this B team here?
I'm feeling good. I mean, I think obviously you saw just a strong performance on that first game from the A team, but unfortunately, Florida just able to come back and reverse sweep them. Obviously, something you don't want to see on the first side, and maybe a little bit of jitters coming on the side of the B team as their A team falls for these double headers. But obviously, a completely different team. We're going to be seeing the B team now, and some great stuff that I've seen on the side of the B team. Overall, their rotations have been solid, and not as much aggression, I'd say, on that B team. You definitely see a bit more conservative gameplay, which might come in handy now. You saw obviously a little over aggression in those first couple games for the A team, and for this B team, maybe just a little bit more conservation is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, for sure. And B team has a really impressive record too. At least all the matches I've commentated have been wins for the B team. Specifically when we went up against was it Mason University? I believe our A team fell, but our B team was able to do really well against theirs. So all I have to say is great things for our B team. So I'm really excited to see what's up.
I'm a little worried. You were maybe the bad luck charm for the A team and the good luck charm for the B team. I don't know why you're still on the A team stream then.
Possible,
I think you should have only been here for the B team. But obviously, Caster's curse always runs just amazingly. So maybe it'll be a Caster blessing for this one, and we'll see the B team be able to take the win here. Obviously. Just another best of 5. It's some great car ball action, obviously, on Rocket League as we, move into this next week. And not a lot of weeks left. It's getting down to the wire. It's definitely, getting more and more stressful for these players. And, just being able to keep their cool under that pressure is going to be interesting to look at in these upcoming weeks.
Yeah, and specifically with our premier teams, right, through the esports program, I mean, our A team, our B team doing PlayVS, PlayVS. Going through, I mean, great opportunities, but also our BGC team, right? The Beans are picking up steam too as well with collegiate carball going. I mean, a huge event like collegiate Rocket League is gigantic. So seeing them pick up steam as well coming up on the summer, it's really exciting to be a Rocket League fan, specifically collegiately right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think in general, esports, in a collegiate level is just fantastic right now. We saw our Overwatch team just going so far in it used to be TESPA, now it's ABC, but the collegiate, sponsored by Blizzard Entertainment, league, they were able to get, into that top 16 overall in the playoffs. They have put up numbers against a lot of other teams. Our League of Legends team as well, fantastic. And, I think the premier team's only going up from here. Some great talent just already here, and with being one of the first years in obviously collegiate esports, Ohio State, it can only go up. And with the player base that we have, I'm expecting some great things even next season.
Yeah, it's a strange thing with esports, specifically collegiately. I mean, you don't see a lot of maybe in CSGO you might see a lot of older people. I know Forrest getting older, but I mean, in Rocket League, a lot of these top players are 24, 23, college age. So it's we're seeing RLCS level of competitors in the collegiate scene. So it's nothing to consider as below the pro scene. I mean, huge thing. I mean, our OC team, Shiro, a couple other players I know hitting SSL are getting high up there and competing against some of the top competitors. So it's really, really exciting. And I want to see more out of this collegiate scene too. I want to see more tournaments. I want to see better players getting coaching. I know with our teams getting coaching and being able to work on their what they're more deficient in and being able to balance out their gameplay. It's super, super cool to watch.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And the collegiate scene can really only go up from this. You see a lot of new universities just investing a lot of
Mhm.
time and energy, just and resources as well, into their games. And just a quick shout out, obviously, to my hometown, Harrisburg. One of the universities there, Harrisburg University, has kind of become one of the main beacons, in the collegiate esports. They have a kickoff tournament, I believe, with Overwatch and with a few others. I think League of Legends as well. It's one of the first kind of collegiate tournaments that you see in the thing. I mean, it's, I think, late August, I believe. So it's going to be great to watch, obviously, now that
Mhm.
I get to cast it for the Ohio State side. But, you know, just overall, you see Ohio State coming out with new stuff. And now a lot of official teams just coming out and, putting their pride. And I think it's just a great opportunity for any college student to take advantage of, even if you're not, interested. And we're going to go into the first game here. And it's Paul definitely has a chance to go far.
Yeah, so OSU on blue here, DePaul on orange. Familiar faces if you watch any of the Rocket League streams before, right? Poke, Slaney, Diesel here on the B team. Great
Ooh,
players. Little mix up there from Slaney getting it behind the defender. Defender having the wrong momentum, right? Going forward, not backwards. So really good placement there from Slaney.
yeah. I mean, I think we saw Slaney in the first match, didn't we?
Yeah, he subs
So
out
he's
often
Yeah,
too for the B
yeah.
team.
So he's going to be warmed up. The cobwebs are going to be out, and Slaney was definitely setting up a lot of goals, and we saw Slaney get the first goal against DePaul, and a quick 1-0 as Poke tries to defend against Shikuki, able to do the hard clear down midfield. Jacko, though, looks like he is trying to keep it up, but Diesel and Slaney looks like they want to take the pressure to DePaul. And Slaney, there's an open net here. If he was able to get a nicer shot, he could have gotten it. And Shikoki able to get the demo on Poke. Jacko looks like he's going to try to go for the commit, but is unable to do so.
Yeah, but players going for stuff when they're running out of boost. Not the best. Big fake there from Diesel.
Ooh,
Diesel loves those fakes. He loves them. Faking out his own teammate, almost making it 5v1 on Diesel there. Diesel loves going for
ooh.
those though.
An empty
Uh,
goal. Black Wraith able to find a hole in the defense. Those demos, I think, definitely
yeah.
caused a bit of a distraction for Ohio State, and Black Wraith just really able to dribble it. Nice air dribble coming in from DePaul.
Yep. And so, like I was saying, boost control. DePaul had the possession on their side for most of that last point, but they had so many shots to shoot, but they just didn't have the boost to put it in. Whether that was OSU being kind of greedy with the boost maybe and taking it from DePaul, or DePaul just not rotating as much, just making sure they keep track of that boost. Hopefully Ohio State keeps it up as well, because whoever controls the boost controls the ball,
Right.
and whoever controls the ball controls the goals, to be
Sure.
honest.
But you look here and you see that hard clear. Slaney's going to have to try to get the ball back as he commits to it, but Black Widow, or Black Wraith, sorry, looks like he wants to take it, and Diesel is trying to hard clear this ball back, and it just seems like a bit of a floater right now from both sides as we see just a lot of airtime on that ball.
Yeah, and something interesting looking at OSU's team too, they're using a lot of flat cars. So Diesel and Poke, or Slaney and Poke there in the Fennec, and then Diesel in the Dominus. A lot of flatter cars. I saw Poke going for a lot of pinches. Like, we have a lot of opportunities for that, to go
Yeah.
for these big pinches. The Octane's obviously just better all around for getting powerful hits. But I think OSU is going for more of a trickier play style, like we've seen from Diesel and Poke, going for those 1v1s, those pinches. Big chance there, just couldn't quite read the bounce off the corner there from Diesel. But OSU hoping to keep it in DePaul's half.
Yeah, and you see Poke wins that 1v1, and it looks like he was trying to set up the rest of his team as he gets a demo onto Shikuki. Might cause some rotation issues coming on the side of DePaul, but Jacko looks like he wants to take the fight to him. You see that double commit as Black Wraith is able to, take a shot onto it, and they might be setting up Black Wraith nicely, but Poke able to clear it, and actually demoing Jacko as well. A lot of demos on the field right now.
Yeah, these flatter cards give a lot more opportunity for these demos and bumps as well, just more surface area. And I like that they're using it to their advantage. I like to see Diesel going for a lot of 1v1s. Those fakes, like we saw earlier, they almost turned out, and Poke there, in a huge pass from Diesel, able to sink it in to the left side of the defenders.
Yeah, I mean, that was just, Diesel, able to the 1v1 there. and set up Poke for a very nice shot onto the goal. Some rotation issues perhaps, but it just seems like Ohio State is really able to keep that offensive pressure up and make DePaul kind of struggle to keep control of the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a B team, but these are A-team decisions that OSU's making here, right? Those passes off the corners and be able to find their teammates. I think that both teams, both our our A team and our B team, are really confident doing that. But maybe just on shots and rotations, they lack a little bit. And communication, same problems that the A team has with overcommitting as well. Slayton there, maybe getting a flip reset. I don't know if he actually got the flip or not, going for a ground pinch. But DePaul with a big chance there and a shot from Jacko. Little bit of a miscommunication from OSU. I think overcommitting kind of contributed to that goal.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely felt like, the rotations weren't entirely there. Ohio State might have bit off a little bit more than they can chew, and it shows with DePaul able to capitalize on a goal and, tying it up for a minute left. It's basically anyone's game right now, and obviously Ohio State kind of wants to respond to this, but, with these kind of floaters, Jacko and Shokuki really keeping up that aggression with Black Wraith and Poke. Looks like he almost self-goaled. Shokuki coming in from nowhere, and Slaney is trying to hard clear this, but misses the ball, and Jacko is able to get it. Poke able to save it. Beautiful save as he floats it back down to an empty goal, and Slaney with a great shot, able to get the goal and put it into Ohio State's favor with 46 seconds left.
My jaw is on the floor right now. What was happening with the ball? Their players went for a fake. So one of the players went for a fake there on Poke, I believe, in the net. Didn't work. Went out, and then Shokuki just comes in there and hits it so wide that it just goes away into OSU's favor. Very strange. But OSU able to convert it, thankfully.
I mean, can we take a second to talk about the aerials of Slaney real quick? Just able to juggle that ball in the air and just, absolutely score a banger onto DePaul, and Poke getting set up, almost able to get another one. 22 seconds left, and it doesn't look like Ohio State wants to quit even with the advantage.
Yeah, so OSU here in the last 15 seconds, a goal up. They want to keep possession, but Black Wraith able to dribble it around the OSU player. That's what I was saying. They wanted to keep possession and just challenge everything early. So here, Diesel challenged early, but the 50-50 went in Black Wraith's favor, and then a DePaul player bumped the OSU player in net out of the way. So very well coordinated attack there from DePaul, but OSU just not having the 50s that they needed.
Yeah, and I mean, with 9 seconds left, obviously someone could score here very quickly as it's on the side of DePaul. You've seen some very sneaky shots. Diesel, known for his, sneaky shots, but, this is looking like it's going to go into overtime as the ball hits the bottom, and its next score wins. And, this could be a very fast Ohio State score. We know they like to keep that pressure up, and we could see that right here.
Yeah, and Diesel with the control here. No boost, though, getting challenged early. Yeah, and so taking your time right there. Jaco challenging early, not the smartest because we were able to get a really nice
hang on a second
shot chance. Poke hopefully going to be able to control this a little bit. Doesn't quite get the first touch that he wanted, I would think.
Yeah,
so
and
now
Jaco,
DePaul
I think, just stole the boost, didn't he, too?
Yeah, big shot chance, but it doesn't quite go in. Poke being able to defend a little bit. Hopefully OSU can take this possession away. Diesel challenging early, getting it out, but OSU players not really be able to get anything too solid.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to see too many double commits coming on the side of Ohio State, because DePaul is definitely capable of taking this back into the favor. As you see, some nice aerials from Shokuki, but no one on the side
shot from Poke
of DePaul, and close shot from Poke, almost scoring for the side of Ohio State. But Diesel wants some more to say, but with no boost left, he's going to have to try to go and rotate, and Poke losing that 1v1. Slaney there hopefully to defend, as Jacko looks like he wants to take one off the crossbeam. Diesel getting one demo, though. Jacko returning the favor, and this is back on the side of DePaul as Slaney takes another shot. Beautiful stuff from Ohio State, but unable to capitalize. Another demo on the side of DePaul.
Wow. Just need to keep this pressure on. Yeah, wow. A lot of things happening at once. Big shot chance. Slaney just booms it against the crossbar again. Hopefully OSU's able to take possession again. Jaco here dribbling a little bit. Bumps Poke out of the way. Messes up his teammate a little bit. But OSU just needs to challenge early and challenge often, right? Get this ball out of their half. Big
Yeah,
demo.
and
I don't think there's a shot opportunity. Jacob just gonna
yeah.
keep booming it back in. So I want to see a dribble out instead of
Ooh.
oh, I don't think he's gonna be able to control that in. Not
Black
quite.
Wraith
Yes,
was looking
Slaney.
for it. Yeah, and
Lucky.
yeah, Shikuki, but Poke, it looks like he wants to try to clear this on the other side. Black Wraith able to win it, and a nice shot from the side of.
Able
Oh,
to get it
wow,
out.
beautiful
Wow.
save!
Oh my gosh. OSU clinging
Slaney
on
could get
for
an open
dear
goal here.
life.
Look at that. If they double commit into this, they could, get on the wrong end of the goal. And this was looking
Diesel
so
defensive.
confident for DePaul. But wow, what a great save on the side of Ohio State.
So many demos coming out to these players. Wow, big shot from Slaney there. The defense is really, really phenomenal right now. Both these players, or both these teams, just being able to cling on as hard as they can. And there's great shots coming out too, and they're just positioning very smart. So I like to see this in overtime, right?
Yeah.
When it's the next goal wins, you want to see the smartest plays that you can bring out. So these players are definitely doing that.
Ooh, Jaco losing a crucial 1v1 as it gets cleared back towards the side of DePaul, and Diesel looks like he wants to play this. Poke getting set up, but is unable to get anything as they're going to have to try to defend against
Getting
it.
demoed there,
And Black Wraith able to get the goal. DePaul University taking the first game against Ohio State, but let me tell you, that was just through tooth and nail. It just felt like everyone had to give it their all for that goal. And, 3 minutes without a score in overtime, I mean, that's a lot of time to play. And it really just came down to who was able to, take a better shot.
That was a very high energy first game. I think that's the least I can say. Wow, that overtime was one for the books. That was incredible. Poke, defensive mastermind, also having some great shots. Diesel playing very smart, being ready for DePaul's clears. DePaul, though, that last one, that demo, was beautifully executed on Slaney. So congrats to them. That was a game well earned from them.
Yeah, and I don't want to even think about how close that ball was for one of those shots to get into that goal. That save on the side of Ohio State was just incredible to watch. I mean, that ball had to have been at least 75% or 80% even in the goal.
Yeah.
I thought that was just game for sure, but Ohio State keeping it competitive, and we saw it right there. 3 minutes without a score, each team just giving it their all, trying to win that first game. Ohio State it definitely is going to have some things to talk about in between matches, but some great stuff though. You saw some great just aerials from Slaney, and coming into this next game, I'd say a little bit more defense. I'd like to see more rotation and boost management, but other than that, just some great stuff overall.
Yeah, I want to see the players keep it calm a little bit as we get into game 2 here. I don't want to see them trying too hard for things that they might not be able to do immediately, right? So a lot of these connections that they're trying to make. Oh, but huge bump
Diesel
there,
though,
Diesel!
wow!
As I'm saying that, what an incredible 1v3 play from Diesel there. Absolutely incredible and great. Poke going for the bump, maybe faking out Black Wraith a little bit. An incredible start, 9 seconds in.
Threading the needle there. That was just great. I mean, against 3 defenders on the side of DePaul, Ohio State, showing that they have a say in this game. They have a voice, and really just bringing it out there.
Yeah, not letting up either Slaney there.
Wow.
DePaul being out of position, and the player there not being able to beat Slaney to the ball, being out of rotation, the one that touched the aerial there, Shikuki,
Yeah.
obviously not going to be able to get there in time because he just went for the aerial, so DePaul failing on that rotation, and OSU being able to get that second goal only 19 seconds into the second game here. Incredible momentum here.
It definitely seems like Ohio State was definitely not happy with losing that game, and it shows. The pressure is on the side of DePaul now, as Ohio State in this game is already up 2-0 with less than a minute from the goals, and the just momentum firmly on the side of Ohio State.
And again,
oh my gosh, is that a team ace on the side of Ohio State? Did each player get a goal on that? Wow.
I think I'm a Poke simp now. Honestly, being there for Slaney's touch. Slaney had an incredible pass there, getting a triple touch off the corner there. Probably not even on purpose. It looked like he just slipped into it and got whatever he got. But Poke being there, no matter what, just absolutely incredible mental fortitude.
Yeah,
is how I would say that.
That's just, I mean, that's
Oh,
exactly what you want to see. Shikuki getting a quick score here in retaliation. A minute done, and already 4 goals scored. This is definitely a different tempo change from the last game.
yeah, yeah. OSU showing up and showing out for the second game here. Incredible, incredible ball control. And I mean, that's what we like to see. That's what we've seen in previous games. And it was a little lacking in game one, so I love to see it come out in game two. I just want to see. I mean, right there, I saw Diesel go for a demo, and that
Yeah.
was kind of why they left the goal open. So being a little bit smarter, I know he can keep the game IQ high and a bump there from
Ooh.
the ball. We've seen that twice now where they get a goal off of that. So we're seeing more and more bumps, I think, as the weeks go on and play versus. So that was one of the biggest things I was looking out for when I started commentating this was how aggressive with bumps are these college players going to be. And it really, I wasn't seeing a lot of them early on, but now this OSUB team versus DePaul, we're seeing a lot of them
Yeah.
now. So I think it might just be team dependent, or these players are getting more and more comfortable when knowing when they can go for those bumps.
Yeah, and I mean, we see it in just a lot of different places. You know, even in the pro scene, we see some bumps too, and it definitely
Mm-hmm.
seems to make the difference here for DePaul. Like you said, both goals on the side of DePaul so far, basically have been from bumps. As you know, we see Poke losing that 1v1, and Jaco looking like to set up. He wants to get under the shot rate. He's going to be able to set up Shikuki. Shikuki from the backfield, able to keep it as a tied game now for DePaul.
Yeah, and as we were praising our OSU team here, DePaul able to answer right back with their own hat trick. So both teams tied up 3-3 at 3 minutes and 12 seconds. That's not even 2 minutes in. There's already 6 goals.
Yeah.
That's
The,
very, very aggressive teams here, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean now, given that all 3 goals, have happened in such quick succession for DePaul, Ohio State now is kind of in the hot seat to respond to this. You know, you've seen all those bumps, and look at this, Jacko getting another goal. Looks like they just want to keep the momentum up on the side of DePaul as DePaul takes this, the lead.
I wanna talk to Poke and ask him why he wasn't challenging that ball. I that in threes you want to always have someone challenging something like that, like especially if it's in your half. I want to see these challenges coming out quick and fast, and I want them to be getting the ball out of their half from Ohio State.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't want to see many double commits, but overall, I want to see at least a single commit.
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather see a double commit than a single commit, specifically from OSU, because I know that they're
Sure.
capable of being consistent
Ooh.
on the recoveries.
Diesel
chance here
and
from
Poke,
OSU.
though, here's that aggression that we were talking about that we saw in the beginning of the game. Slaney winning that 1v1 as well, but no boost to call for it. Diesel trying to get it from downfield, and Poke here to cross it back, but it's now an empty goal, and if Shikuki gets a nice shot here, we could be seeing just another goal from DePaul.
Yeah, great car control there from Shikuki, being able to get that mid, but no DePaul players were ready. DePaul's getting it to the alleys that OSU wasn't covering, and a big shot there from Black Wraith is just hit against the crossbar. So DePaul is hitting this ball very, very well. They're finding the holes that OSU's leaving, and they're calling it out. And OSU are just overwhelmingly mechanical this game. So they're taking out these great passes that they can do and these great shots. They're capable of this wall control, the ceiling control, ball control, car control, all of it. They have all the control. So I just want to see them use it to the best of their ability.
Yeah, and you see over here Diesel winning those 1v1s and able to clear it back to the side of DePaul, even getting a close shot onto the goal, but good rotations from DePaul as Diesel and Poke are trying to defend against just the offense that we see from DePaul. And with a minute left, Ohio State now, they were up 3-1 coming into about a minute in, and Slaney on an empty net is trying to take a shot, but Black Wraith was there to defend.
Yeah, I want to see these reads come out in the final minute here from OSU. DePaul's making a lot of strange touches, which is working to their favor. That's on net. Good thing Shikuki is there to control it. But yeah, OSU, known for their reads, I would say, especially this B team. They're able to read the ball really well. So I want to see them take advantage of that and call DePaul out. Right? Say, I know you're going to hit it. I'm going to be there before your teammates, so why are you hitting it there? So I want to see this, and I want to see them be able to make usage of that and get a goal here in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, and with only 20 seconds, the rotations have to come in, and we have to see a goal for Ohio State, or they could be down 2-0, and it could need to win out basically to be able to complete this match with only 7 seconds left, and Poke
Diesel
and
with a chance
Diesel are
here,
trying to
but
run it out downfield, but
backflips.
Jaco, oh, with that quick rotations, it looks like the ball's about to touch. And Poke's gonna
Saves
try to
it.
keep it up,
And a rule
and but
one. Oh. There was a rule one going on in our net, and also Diesel with the very sad backflip on that shot opportunity in their half. Very sad to see. DePaul's gonna take this though, 5-3, getting up 2-0. So match point for DePaul. OSU has the answer. They have the answer. So I want to see them write that down. I want to see them call DePaul, like I said, and find the rotation, find the balance on that, fix it up a little bit, get those shots, mechanics. They have them. OSU has them. So I want to see that come out, and I want to see them make use of that. Go for more ceiling stuff. Go for more wall stuff. Get it where DePaul can't reach it, like DePaul's been doing to OSU.
yeah, and I mean, you were saying it before, but just the bumps that we saw from DePaul being crucial for those first two goals. And just overall, it seems like they're very comfortable taking those bumps, and I think that's really what got Ohio State a little flustered almost in their defense. It didn't seem like they particularly had an answer for those bumps, and they seemed to be a little wary of them, kind of ever since they did those first two. So, coming into these next matches, Ohio State's going to have to obviously keep that kind of in their the back of their head. Make sure they don't forget it that DePaul likes the bump.
Yeah, and bumps are very powerful in the top level because I mean they're not useful only when they hit. They're also useful just as an idea. So DePaul there, a lot of times they weren't even connecting with it. But if you're threatening that bump, specifically if a DePaul player is threatening a bump on an OSU player, then that OSU player needs to watch out for that. So they need to adjust their movement, and that itself can cause an open net.
Yeah.
Not even the actual bump.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
very
you
powerful.
tech for so many things, you end up, just running out of things to tech for, and you can just run into problems. So, Ohio State down currently, and Jake with a very quick score with only 27 seconds into this game. Obviously, to stay in this, Ohio State has to win this game and basically reverse sweep DePaul in order to win this match now.
Yeah, Slaney just not rotating his car the way he really wanted to, and sadly it bounces against his own net instead of going out. And Jacob just being there for it. A lot of time. Slaney, really good shot. Or a really good save, I mean. A really good shot from DePaul. So, I mean, the momentum's all in DePaul's favor. They have so much wiggle room here. OSU just needs to get that momentum back.
Yeah, and I think OSU is definitely capable. I mean, we saw it in that second game. They're capable of it. We definitely saw just some great shots, some great aerials on the side. Like you said, mechanically, they are there. But just some problems in the defense and some holes as Jaco very close to getting a quick goal there. And they're going to have to try to rotate off this. But Shikuki looks like he wants to try to clear this back onto the side of Ohio State. And, being up 2 games, they're able to kind of, stall this a little bit. Some floaters downfield, but Diesel looks like he wants to try to, take the fight to him, but they're going to have to rotate quick here.
Yeah, I think DePaul's really looking like the more organized team this match. Like, coming into this match point, they're getting 3-4 touch passes and they're connecting all of this. I can't help but be excited to see this from DePaul, even if it's against our team. I mean, Great Rocket League when you see it, and I think that DePaul is showing up with this. But these games have been so close. It really is anyone's match, and this 2-0 scoreline is not as one-sided as you think. OSU has some great plays this match, and they're just falling a little bit behind. Like here, it just staying there, and OSU just not being able to get it out of their net. I mean, OSU has shown up this game. They have done their job. They just need to work a little bit harder to adjust to what DePaul is also doing.
Yeah, and I think that 5-3 scoreline for game 2 wasn't fair. I think 5-4 is closer to what it actually was, and for the longest time though it was 3-3. And, we saw it go into overtime with not a goal scored for 3 minutes. This is definitely an even match and a great match to look out for. But DePaul just able to kind of, push it to that 101% maybe. And Black Wraith scoring again. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left for Ohio State to try to come back into this, and 3 goals on the board for DePaul.
Yeah, and those are passing plays. So Black Wraith being there, they're communicating very well, and it's very exciting to see. Very, very high level threes from DePaul for sure. And coming in, DePaul's up 3-0, but half the game's over. I know that Ohio State can score 3 goals in the same time that DePaul scored 3 goals. So yeah. I want to see them not give up, be that second half team, like our football team, be the second half. So just show up, play your heart out, right? Get these 3 goals.
Yeah, and I think Ohio State has the tools, they have the players, they have, the mechanics to be able to do it. You saw 3 goals in quick succession in that game too. We could see those same 3 goals here, and Ohio State, to stay in this, has to do that again.
Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest downfall here for OSU's B team is the clears. They're not getting it out of their half. They need to get out of their half. They're giving DePaul too much time to coordinate these passes, and a great executed pass and shot is going to be nearly unsavable for any team, right? Let alone OSU's team, especially if we're leaving an open net. So don't give DePaul too much time to work with the ball.
Yeah, and it feels like, Ohio State is trying to get those clears. It seems like they really want to get it, but DePaul also not really letting up on this pressure. And Black Wraith with another shot. Nice aerials from the side of DePaul. A 4th on the board with only 1 minute and 18 left. It's looking like a 3-0 sweep potentially for DePaul. Yeah,
DePaul really found their footing in this game 3. These passes are working very, very smoothly, and OSU just isn't finding their footing. They're not necessarily knowing what to do against all this time that they're giving DePaul, right? So their first mistake was letting DePaul have the ball for so long. And then after that first mistake, it's kind of just over. They don't have a second chance.
Yeah. It's just kind of confounding mistakes that have unfortunately resulted in DePaul being up 4-0, and it doesn't look like they want to let up. Slaney with a nice defense, but Black Wraith there, it's with the rebound and able to get it. Getting set up by Jaco there. That's a 5th on the board with only 50 seconds left. We're going to have to see a miracle in order to, keep Ohio State into this.
Yeah, kickoff goals could happen. I think if there's a silver lining, it's that OSU was definitely very competitive this match, and even if it ends up 3-0 with the sweep from DePaul, then it really didn't feel like a 3-0. It felt like OSU was staying on equal footing with DePaul, and they just kind of fell short in the end. Yeah, is what it seems like. So, if I was OSU, take your time to look at these passing plays that DePaul's doing. Right, so watch these replays, and they just keep putting on, right? They're just giving us more material. Look back at the replays and see where they're going wrong, what the inciting incident is, where they're able to get these passing plays off, and figuring out how to stop that for future matches.
Yeah, obviously these replays are going to be crucial for Ohio State going into this, to be able to just review the mistakes that they had, because you can always improve. You can always get better at your team plays, at your rotations, at your overall defense, and you can see exactly, just what went wrong here. I don't think this is necessarily, this 6-0 scoreline isn't indicative of, exactly what happened here today. Just very competitive from the side of Ohio State for this first 2 games, but obviously DePaul in this 3rd game, which gives them the 3-0 win on this match, just looking very strong. But obviously the replays are available, and if you want to improve, it's definitely there. You can obviously look at this as just a way to learn, and Ohio State has to come back from this.
Yeah, and it's similar stuff from previous weeks. OSU, the B team, hasn't really played a team that has passes like DePaul did today. No team has been as connected, really, and had those incredible passing plays like DePaul. So they might not have been used to that. but they were holding strong. And OSU, I believe, just the A team and B team have incredible mechanics, better than a lot of the teams that they face, and they're really aggressive. Uh, but maybe they can learn something from this DePaul team specifically, and even from Southern Florida South passing. Right, we try it, but it's not connecting as much. So hopefully we can take a little bit from this, clean up our rotations, clean up our passes, and keep those mechanics solid for next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have, I believe it's 2 more weeks of play versus to happen, and I think there's going to be hopefully another stream here at 8 p.m. again on the side of week 8. You know, we're going to be able to see these two teams come back and play whichever opponents they're drawn into here, and it's going to be great. And if you would like to see any of the past weeks, if this is your first time being here, obviously don't forget to follow the Ohio State Esports Twitch page right here, as well as Ohio State, that's ST Esports on Twitter, as well as subscribing to the Ohio State Esports YouTube channel. That's going to be Ohio ST Esports as well. You can obviously see some great content. We have Rocket League, League of Legends, and Overwatch right now from some previous stuff. It's obviously great to come out here, and it was great watching them. Obviously Ohio State was bringing their all. Unfortunately, we see neither team able to come out with a match win, but just some strong showings and just some great games overall.
Yep, it was great commentating with you, Jeremy. It was really fun. Sadly, we couldn't see any OSU wins, but we go to next week. So I was Dawson, commentating with Jeremy. This is Play Versus. We are signing off now. See you guys next week.